So let's get into it.
We always have too good of conversation before we hit the record button.
Yeah. Well, we're back.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It
Actually, speaking of which, I guess I can do that later, but I got some from our old business. I got the cash for you, so.
Oh, sweet. Sweet. I love to hear that. That's awesome. How have you been?
Good. It's been crazy. Starting over with a new little baby. Just kind of kicked my butt.
Yeah.
But no, other than that, it's good. Finally got back to the gym. Took a few months off with the new baby, and coming back, that kicks your butt too.
It really does. You got to hold yourself back. Just, tell the coach, hey, I'm coming back. I want to be able to move tomorrow, so I'm going to hold myself back.
Yeah, those front squats yesterday are catching up with me.
Yeah, front squats are great.
They are great. No, it feels good.
But it's sore.
You can just feel your body I don't know. I got all flabby, and then you just come back for a week, and you can feel all your muscles getting tight again, and it just feels good.
It does. And you're drinking water right now. Good job.
Drinking water.
So we kind of took the whole summer off. I wanted to, not arrogantly, but just kind of prove myself in business again, because it's been so long since we had started a business. I kind of wanted to show myself hey, I can still do this.
Was this the last one, CrossFit?
No, I mean, we've done other little things, and I mean, if you bring real estate and stuff into it, then that's different. But our first business was rock climbing. And then after that, we started a little gymnastics bus.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it turned into a little gymnastics center, and we would drive it around to daycares, preschools, Montessori schools, and teach gymnastics out of it. Then we bought into CrossFit about 10 years ago and kind of built that. And then, as you know, we brought the the rock climbing and CrossFit into the same building, which is where we also have the podcast studio now. So I guess you could say podcast is a business that makes zero money. Yeah.
But, no, those are sometimes the most fun ones.
I agree. This is always such a great time. And then, this summer we started an asphalt maintenance and essentially a seal coat business. So just pothole repair, crack repair, seal coating, and line striping.
Yeah. So, well, before we get into that, I was going to ask you, it seems like all the businesses that you've done have just taken off. Have you had some bumps in the road? Have you had some that haven't worked out so well?
So if I've started something with passion, it succeeds. Mm-hmm. But if it's hey, maybe I'll dip my toes over here, then those don't do well. Yeah. But really, that's my fault. It's not the business. It's not the idea. It's not the business plan. It's not the funding. It's nothing. It's just, I really believe that if someone believes in their product or their service and they hit it hard, they can succeed. And I actually hate when I hear business gurus and they're 5 years to get profitable. What normal American has 5 years to get profitable? You have to be profitable immediately. So we've also never picked a business idea or plan that can't be profitable immediately. Yeah. Well,
so are you wanting to get into the numbers of your asphalt business, startup? Because that's what I'm actually really curious in.
Yeah, for
what
sure.
What it took, because I feel like there's a lot of good business ideas out there, but no one has $100,000 to be I'm going to start this. It will succeed, but I don't have $100,000 to start it.
For sure. So luckily, we had about $25,000 that we could put into it, but people don't need to. That's another thing is the bootstrap business or the, I don't know what you call it, the lean startup. Mm-hmm. People can do that. They don't have to start off with $100,000 of a seal coat machine and this really nice crack fill machine and a brand new pickup and trailers. People could start this getting buckets of seal coat and going and brushing it on people's driveways. Yeah. Luckily, we didn't have to do that. But even if we would have, by the end of the summer, we could have more than taken profit and paid for a trailer. But as anything we do, I jump right in. And so I may not have gotten the best feedback or I had a horrible salesperson. It's this is what you need, and this and this and this. So sweet, let's get it. Mm-hmm. And then within a couple weeks, we had pumps going down.
So you bought new.
Yeah. In this market, it's a little difficult to find used, especially at the time of year when we had started. So I bought a seal coat unit that went on the back of my truck 230 gallons, which I thought would be enough until we started to hit it. So
Yeah.
I didn't know. Like, I had no idea going into it. So about $25,000. Very quickly, though, things started breaking down, had problems nearly every single day. So that's the best way to learn. You know, you mess up, you buy the wrong thing, then you seek out the right people that have the right knowledge. And we ended up just building our own seal coat trailer.
Really?
And once it was done, it was kind of cool because you'd see other seal coaters that are like, wow, that's an amazing trailer. That's so cool. And it's like, I wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have messed up first.
Mm-hmm.
And so
what made you want to get into seal coating? Like, you just saw a need for it and you just went for it?
Yeah. In this area, there are several seal coat service-based businesses, but only a few large ones. And what I had heard from so many people was, I had it done, it cost a lot of money, and it was a crappy job. And I just thought, maybe it's because there's a lot of people out there that are just doing it because that's all they've ever known, or they thought that it would be a profitable deal, but they don't focus on the customer and making the job look good. Like, you'll notice now that we're just talking about it, you'll go to a gas station or a grocery store and you see seal coat out all over the place. It's all over concrete. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So from the very beginning, we just focused very hard on perfect edges. We don't get seal coat up on concrete. If we do, because it happens, it will either be cleaned immediately, which is difficult, or we'll come back with a pressure washer. Like, we will not leave your job with issues. I had a new guy working for us, and he was brushing, and he like splashed a whole bunch of seal coat up on someone's garage doors. And the guy, I wasn't on that job, and the guy called and he's like, hey, this is horrible. You guys got this stuff all over the place. So we went with a pressure washer, and it would take the paint off of his doors.
Oh, yeah.
So I called him up. I'm like, hey, what do you think about us painting your doors for you? He's like, if that's what you need to do. You know, he was kind of skeptical. I think he was kind of mad.
Yeah.
Once it was all done, he called and he's like, hey, we'll use you in the future. Your communication was awesome. You guys more than rectified it. Our garage doors look better than when you got there. And like that, to me, that's really important. So we may have even broken even on that job, but that's a job in the future. And this is also a guy that owns a lot of real estate. So anytime he needs a seal coat job done, it's going to be us.
Yep.
And I think that that's missed right now in business. Like, you call up Audible, hey, my Audible account's not working. Okay, well, you need to send an email. Okay, well, I sent an email 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can't do anything about it. It's like the customer service sucks. Well, it's a large billion-dollar business. Well, ours is a very small business.
Yeah.
But it can definitely grow if the right principles are put in place. A lady wrote yesterday, we only had one warranty issue this year. And it was a lady that said, hey, my seal coat is peeling on the north side of my house. You told me that it might, so I just wanted to let you know that it is. I immediately wrote her back. I emailed her and I texted her. And she wrote me back, wow, thanks for responding so quickly.
Yeah.
I just wanted to let you know. You said that it might happen. So if you guys could come fix it, that would be great.
Yep.
Sweet.
Go get it
Sounds
done.
great. I know there are a lot of people out there that would go, man, I got the money. So
yeah, it doesn't matter. Dude, I just got done redoing my parents' house. And so we hired out a lot of work, and it was unbelievable how poor their customer service was. So hired a tile guy. We paid him probably more than he should have got paid. And then we had a bunch of crack in the granite. And I called him and I was like, hey, you said this might happen. It's basically the same thing. And he just blew me off. He still hasn't come back to do it.
That's so sad because you're never going to hire him again.
Yeah. Well, I just stopped hiring people.
Yeah.
I was like, fine, I'll just do all the work myself. Because what would happen is I would look for someone to do a job. I would probably have 5 guys come out and bid it, and then they wouldn't answer my phone call after that, which I don't understand. I don't know if you've had that similar thing, but interestingly,
I got a job doing a medium-sized apartment complex, and after it was done, he said, hey, I want to let you know the only reason why I hired you is because you actually called me back. And I was like, oh, well, I hope that's a good thing. And he's like, no, it's great. We're really glad. You guys did an awesome job, but I hired you because you're the only one to call us back.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think it is? Just people have enough work, they don't need to
I think so.
care if they do a good job.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there is a lot. I worked with a guy this year that he charges about twice what we charge.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll go into the season with very few jobs lined up,
Mm-hmm.
but he knows that very quickly everybody else is booked up, so then he can double his price. I'm so different than that.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's sell early and let's give everyone the best deal possible.
Yeah.
Like, I want my guys to make as much money or girls to make as much money as possible. I want to make as much money as possible, and I want to give the very best job to the customer for the least amount of money.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So do you want to get into the numbers and do a humble brag about how much it worked?
Yeah, for sure.
So you start off with 25 grand in the hole.
Yeah.
And then
Now, very quickly, we started to get jobs, and people are like, oh, how did you do that? I just told people that we're seal coating.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It became who I was.
Yeah.
We own an asphalt maintenance company. Okay, cool. So we need seal coat. Sweet. Here's the product that we use. We found a really good product out of Salt Lake Sealmaster. They have a really good seal coat product. We used another one locally that it just wasn't a good product, and we very quickly figured that out. So immediately we started, making money, but I had made those equipment mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So going to fix those mistakes. I guess we can almost start at the end. So it grossed about $400,000 this year.
In not a year, but
Yeah,
what,
this
3
summer.
months, 4 months?
Yeah, it was about 5 months.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so that was great. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a lot of mistakes in the beginning. So, that $25,000 wasn't nearly the equipment that we should have got.
Mm-hmm.
So that, more like $50,000 to $75,000
Yeah.
that we had to replace things with. And then we also knew, like, in my mind, I was like, I want to know that I could make profit, but I also want to grow next year. So I want to know what we could have made versus what I'm putting back into the business. And when it's all said and done after this whole year, there wasn't a lot of in-pocket profit. Maybe like $50,000.
Yeah.
But the rest was put back into the business. But that's only because we plan on growing next year.
Yeah.
We're going to run 2 seal coat crews. We have a paver, so we're gonna pave as well. And so there was a lot of cost going in there. Buying a little excavator, a roller, compactors, another trailer.
Yeah.
All of
You need a
that.
couple of trucks now too, right?
Yeah. I'm looking for another truck.
Yeah.
I need to find one. But yeah, we'll run the 2 crews next year, and what we did this year, I'd like to triple it next year.
Yeah.
And to me, being able to start it and kind of prove to myself again, like, oh, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
That was good. It was good for me mentally. And it just gave me something to do all summer.
Well, right. You start, because I saw you out there. I went to Cal Ranch, I think, and I saw you out there working. It started with 25 grand and you out there doing every job, right?
Yeah.
Or did you start with someone else helping you?
No. In fact, it was about halfway through the summer and it's funny because people are like, how do you find good help? I just put it out there that I needed help. And it was so interesting. One of our past employees texted me asking for someone's number because he was looking for a job. I was like, well, if you want a job, I got something.
Yeah.
And then he starts doing it, and he's going to run a crew next year. So it's putting it out there, just letting the universe know what you got going on, and then being open to those things coming in. And it's getting uncomfortable. So, you asked that drone picture on the way in. That was a gas station. The general contractor, he knew that we were just getting into paving. So, I could see some reluctance there but there wasn't. He said, oh, you're just getting into it? Bid this job for me.
Yeah.
Was that uncomfortable? Yeah. It was the most complicated asphalt job that we could have started on.
Yeah.
Lots of handwork. So you're shoveling asphalt in. You have to make sure it's very level by hand, not by a machine. Compact it. We had a timeline because it was starting to get cold. We couldn't do it with frozen ground or anything like that. So go for it. So you have to get uncomfortable. But then after doing that job, you go, okay, we had some mistakes. We fixed them. We learned. Now we can go do an easy job. And it's easy.
Yeah.
It's great. So getting uncomfortable, you have to go out. You have to tell people, hey, this is what we're doing. Okay, cool. And I can't tell you how many times throughout the summer I got, how long have you been doing this? And I'm like, this is my first year. But when the job's done, I promise you'll be happy. And if you're not, I will fix it until you're happy. Not one person all year long was like, we're never going to work with you again.
Yeah.
Did we have some issues? Absolutely. Did we make some mistakes? Absolutely. but we went and rectified them. And that rectification, I think, is more important than anything. Like, they just know, oh, they did it a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
But they fixed it. And they're never going to make that mistake again.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. People obviously see that. And the one thing I was wondering, so you said you started it. It was just you out there. Who were the people, like, I don't know. I feel like if I did the same things you did, I wouldn't have that, I don't know, community or group of people to, get first clients and stuff like that. So who were your first clients that you had?
First was Pat Bjorn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
over at his showcase?
Yes. So what's funny is you do have that connection. You use every connection that you have. But I think that this is where people go wrong. So, like, I'm not trying to knock on network marketing companies, and I'm not trying to knock on religion. But what I think happens sometimes is, let's take our ward list, or let's take our list from our church and our network marketing list. And I'm not saying all network marketers do this. There's some great network marketers out there. But I'm going to start going off these lists because I want to make money off my friends. Mine was, okay, cool. Pat needs this done. How can I give him the best deal possible, do the absolute best job possible, and so we both win?
Yeah.
And in turn, my son made money because he came and worked. My dad made money because he came and worked. Brittany's husband, Kyle, he came and made money because he worked. Pat's happy. His job's done. We actually messed up on a pothole there. We went and rectified it. So that first connection, you have it. The other one, we got a lot of jobs just off of social media. I wanted to make sure, because you look up all these different businesses around here, nobody has good social media. So we'd show up on a job. I'd do a before picture. We'd do an after picture. Obviously, on like a really old, very rough driveway, those aren't the pictures that I would always put up on social media. Like, we would paint very nice lines on a newer parking lot and take those. But then even that throughout the year, I was like, I almost feel like this is false advertising. Like, we need to show a super crappy driveway and what we can do to make that driveway better. So then we kind of just started, every job we did, there was before and after pictures. You'd throw that up online, throw it up on the community pages, and you get tons of business off community pages.
Yeah, I saw another one, probably similar businesses. A guy was doing roof painting or something. It was for those potato silos, and he'd come in with that real thick paint, I guess, to water seal it.
That's cool.
But it popped up on my feed, too, and I was like, I don't obviously have one of those, but those are the only guys that I know now. So it's probably similar with what happened with you. Yeah. There's not too many asphalt companies posting like that, so.
Yeah, and the ones who are, they have really good SEO. Like, I need someone to do SEO, because actually yesterday there's a kid who's doing a project. I say kid, he's my brother-in-law. He's doing a school project, and he had to build an Excel spreadsheet. So it's actually really cool. He went in and did Rexburg, Rigby, 20 different cities around and the distances, and then we went and put a per square foot price in. And so when someone goes to bid a job, they can just go plug the numbers in and then give a standard price, which is standard price. That's another one. We do standard pricing. A lot around here don't do standard pricings. They're like salesmen, like, how much can I get out of this person? I wanted something far from that, just very transparent, so that, Tom doesn't go, well, mine was the same size parking lot, but mine was 10,000 and Jack's was 5,000. Like, what's the difference there? No, the standard pricing across the board.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I don't know where I was going with that.
What did I ask you? I don't know. I forgot to. But no, that is nice, because, again, that's a nightmare dealing with blue-collar workers, and it's like, dude, just give me a fair price, and sometimes you can't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe I'm just going too quick here too, but every employee that we hire, I want them to run their own business someday. So I think some people shy away from hiring really great people because they're afraid that they're going to become their competition. I just don't see it that way. Like, maybe my main guy wants to start a seal coat business, but now we're starting to focus on laying asphalt.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like I just got an in with a seal coater.
Yeah.
So now I don't have to put so many resources out to my own stuff because maybe our passion has changed to laying the asphalt. Well, if he bids the job, but he pays a 10% royalty to the jobs that I give, we're both doing great. It's fun. Business is fun.
So you said you're passionate about it, though, right?
Yeah, I
it
mean,
doesn't seem like
okay,
something you're passionate about. Is you know,
you are correct.
Yeah.
I am not passionate about going out and laying seal coat down every single day, but I really enjoy building businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I'm also fine getting in it in the beginning, which is what we've done in every single business. Rock climbing, we were there every single night for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were open from 7 till 11 every single night, except for Sundays, for 3 years. We took our honeymoon. That's the only time off. We missed like family events, and in hindsight, we could have done better.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be there. Then we did CrossFit. I coached every single day for years until I stepped back. Now I pretty much just sub, which is weird because there's an ego part of that where you go, I'm going to be a worse coach than all of our coaches.
Yeah.
You have to be okay with that.
Yep.
So with this, I wanted to also know every single bit of the business. So I've got to go in. I've got to make the mistakes so that I can teach the next people what they can avoid and how they can go and do a great job.
Yeah.
So this summer, like no regrets, I would go and do it again. This summer, I'll probably do about half the summer where I'm there on most of the jobs, just to make sure that these 2 crew leads are good to take off. But really, it's the building of the business that's exciting to me.
Yeah.
And it's also the relationships and just figuring little things out, like paving jobs, for example. I don't really care so much about the dollars that are made, but I do care about residual income and I care about freedom in the future. Mm-hmm. So there are a couple jobs next year that we're not making money off of them.
Yeah.
We're trading for equity in property. So to me, that's way more important. How about we do, $5 million in real estate, in laying the asphalt, getting 10% in. Okay, well, now you own, just make it simple because I can't do quick math. So say $10 million, 10%. So now we have $1 million worth of property that's cash flowing. That's great. We can use some of the seal coat profits to pay for the asphalt. Usually contractors are, say, doubling their materials. So we may spend $500,000 in materials, but then we're getting $1 million in equity.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing to watch it take off like that. It's kind of, I don't know, were there any low points where you're like, this might not work?
No, not low points where I would say it might not work. There were a couple times when I beat myself up pretty bad when I mess up. So I would just have this kind of thought of like, maybe I can't make this work, which is a falsity. And it's a falsity in anybody who starts a business. You're probably smarter than your boss. So you can do it. And honestly, I met a guy this year that he's a multi-millionaire. Mm-hmm. He dropped out of school, doesn't even have a high school diploma, runs this massive, massive company. And I mean this with love because I actually think he's a really, really cool and very smart individual. But if he can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah. And
truly the same to me. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Now, Kira, like my wife, she will point out like, but, you have a personality like this, or you have, you can build relationships and this sort of thing. I can, but it's only because I've tried and I've failed so many times that I've had to learn. And I also don't want to come at this with like that I know everything, because I don't know everything about seal coating. I don't know everything about paving. But I am willing to take the leap and fail. Yeah. But fail forward and learn from it.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's other people that have tried starting businesses or whatever that have failed. What do you think the difference is between their experiences and yours with a...
Yeah, so I think it's probably twofold. One, you can have a very crappy idea that's just not going to take off. Yeah. What is it on Tommy Boy? Your dad could sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves. So that might be one. If you're selling ketchup popsicles, you might not do well because that's a horrible product. But I actually think most products and most services would work if you take that idea, you're willing to be water, like Bruce Lee says, be water, my friend. Take that and just mold with the contours of the land. Yeah. So if we said, okay, we're going to seal coat, but we're only going to spray, we're not going to brush, We're only going to do residential. We're not going to line stripe. Like, that may not. You have to get into it and hear people.
Yeah.
What do you need? Well, I need this. Okay, cool. I don't know how to do it, but I will figure it out. And the cool part about business is if you're forthcoming about that, if you're truthful with people,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you should be. Like, I never wanted to tell people, hey, I've seal coated for 10 years.
Yeah.
No, I've never done this before.
Yeah.
Your job is, you're a guinea pig, but I will make sure that it's the best job that you've ever had. Molding, I keep losing my train of thought. It's molding with it being water, and it is, it's twofold. So you can't have a crappy idea, but the other one is you have to put yourself out there and be willing to learn and fail.
Yeah.
And then take those failures and make it better.
Yeah.
I really think business is that simple.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a huge thing is people get so stuck in their idea, like you said, I'm going to do this one product and that's all I'm going to do, but customers are asking for something else. You're like, well, I'm only doing this one thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe it could go too far. You listen too much, right?
Oh, for
you
sure.
start doing overstretching. You're like, well,
Yeah.
I can't do everything, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think a good example of that is paving. You have to have a whole crew of its own, and they need to know asphalt. Like,
Yeah.
they really need to know it. It is an art. All the ground is different. Nobody can prep it perfect. So in that regard, I go, okay, I learned how to seal coat this summer. I made the mistakes. I rectified them. I actually can't foresee what other mistakes that I could make. Like, we're probably
Yeah.
good on mistakes and seal coat at this point. But then paving's a whole nother thing. So, okay, we go and we work with a couple paving crews for a little while. Then we take that complex job. Then we take a simple job. And then I go, okay, my dad and I know how to pave, but nobody else on our crew knows how to pave.
Mm-hmm.
So next year, the two crew leads, I'm going to still schedule everything for them. And in that, they're going to be coming and helping us pave.
Mm-hmm.
So, they might seal coat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but Thursday and Friday we're going to pave. So they're not going to seal coat on those days. They're going to come learn how to pave.
Yeah.
So you can definitely grow too quick. We don't have the expendable income at this point to go, okay, we're going to hire a paver operator and five $30 an hour guys to come and do this. So we have to make it work.
Yeah.
And then in doing that, we're training people up. And really, like I said before, my goal is for everybody to do as best as they can. So those seal coat crew leads, I would love to come run a paver sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, maybe they want to buy the business or they want to start a paving company. Just train everybody to the absolute best of their abilities. Never hold anybody back.
Yeah. How intense was it when you started out? How many hours were you putting in?
Starting off, I had actually told myself I would only do jobs Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays because I didn't want to mess up my schedule too much. I mean, selfishly, I just wanted to go to jiu-jitsu Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that very quickly changed.
Yeah.
I mean, we got so busy so fast that we would start at about 7:30 in the morning and many times end at 7:30 or 8:30 at night. And that was 5 months.
And
So, I mean,
6 days a week, 5 days a week?
I mean, towards the end of the summer, it was Sundays too.
Yeah.
It was busy.
Yeah.
Now we learned from it. Like, I still wouldn't say no to the jobs, like if the jobs come along, but we learned like we can do jobs way faster now. Also, just having a crew. We did it one of our very last days. There was me, a guy who's going to be a crew lead, a BYU Idaho professor, and a CFO of a company. So it was pretty cool. It was probably the most highly educated group of seal coaters out there. But we hit 3 jobs in like 5 hours. And I went, okay, this taught me that this can be done.
Yeah.
So whereas before it was me, one, and 2 other people, and we're teaching one person how to seal coat or how to do crack repair or whatever, that may have been one job in a day. Well, you get the right people with the right intelligence level that are getting paid good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're $25, $30 an hour. They work their butts off.
Yeah.
And they're smart and the jobs go really well. So that we won't make that mistake again.
Yeah.
We'll just have better people. I don't want to say better people because everyone who worked with me this summer was great.
Uh-huh.
But I did have like my son Lincoln and a few of his friends. They're all great, and they're going to be great hard workers in the future. But there is something with, teenagers.
Yeah.
They're just not as hard.
How old are they now?
Lincoln's like 14.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird.
That is crazy.
But if we can hit 3 of those jobs in a day instead of 1, even if we're paying $15 an hour more per person, it makes more money.
Yeah.
You're going to net more money than if you're doing 1 job with 3 people that you're teaching.
Yeah, less mistakes, less.
Yeah,
for sure.
And people that take initiative, which are also the people that are going to become your competitor in the future. So it's building that relationship of, okay, you're smart, so I'm paying you well, and you're probably going to go do this on your own. So let's have a good relationship.
Let's be friends about this.
Yeah, let's be friends. Yeah.
Huh. Well, knowing you'll probably do it for another year, and then you'll be on to the next business idea. Do you have anything?
I don't have anything in my mind right now, except for I am going to start a YouTube channel. So I've always wanted to forge metal.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Always. And so I've got a list of everything that I need to buy, and I want to start a channel that's I better get this locked down before I say it out to too many people. Now I already forgot the name. I should have written it down. Anyways, it was something forging. I'll have to think of it. And it was a really great
Probably
name.
wrote it down somewhere, right?
No, I didn't write it down.
Oh, perfect.
But anyways, it'll be a YouTube channel that's like beginning forging and be very transparent with people. Like, I'm not here to teach you how to do this. You're going to watch all of my mistakes.
Yeah.
But just a very good production YouTube channel. We have a friend who does really well on YouTube.
I heard that YouTube is or not YouTube specifically, but content creators is the #1 job in America.
That's insane.
Yeah. I think more people are making money from YouTube and Instagram or whatever else than any other one specific job.
So have you heard the idea that the worst person to ask for advice on a product is the inventor of the product?
I haven't heard that.
So, and it makes sense. Like, my father-in-law is an inventor, very, very intelligent guy. He invented this fish tank product. It goes underneath the water and you pump air into it, and then like crabs and newts and salamanders and stuff can live under the water. That's how I just explained it. You understand it. It's very easy. If he goes to explain that, he's like, well, I've got a pump over here, and that pump has to have this sort of pressure, and then the pressure differential in the water, and makes you can't. So what I've found on these forging videos, they're not tutorials, it's just some dude that's making a knife one day. He uses words that I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So I thought, if we could start one, and it's like, hey, I don't know what I'm talking about, but this is what I learned today. Now let's try this out. Let's see if we can take a railroad tie and make a knife. I think it would do really well. And one of the videos that I watched was a guy that was forging a meteorite, which worked, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Had 4.5 million views. So I just, asked ChatGPT, hey, if someone gets 4.5 million views, how much money? And there's all the variables. $8,000 to $40,000 on one video. I'm like, even if you go at the very low end of that and you say 8,000 and I'm making a video a week, that's crazy. So I just want to know.
Yeah.
Like, I worked my butt off this summer to put all that money back into the business and everything. But what if I just did something fun, had good production, threw it out just on YouTube?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I just want to know.
Yeah. Well, there's this one kid, he was actually hiring for a video editor, but I think he does like this weird shotgun shells, and he's here in Rexburg. So he'll go out and be like, oh, I put nails in the shotgun, which is probably a terrible idea.
Yeah, it's probably really bad on your barrel.
That's his whole YouTube channel is like shooting stuff out of his shotgun, and he's making enough money that he needs to hire a video editor.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's money in it, which I don't think a lot of people talk about, but.
Yeah. Which, that's fine. Let them not talk about it until we get going. No, it's just interesting. Like, it is a weird world that we live in, and I also think that people don't know their own potential, but people's potential doesn't even have to be that much potential.
Yeah.
Like, there are people that go to Harbor Freight and buy tools, and they review those tools online and get millions and millions of views.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, it's not that hard nowadays to earn a living.
Well, even people playing video games and stuff like that, they're making millions of dollars. The ninja guy with blue hair, have you seen that guy?
No.
I haven't seen any of his stuff, but apparently he was making, I think he said he was making like $5 million a month streaming Fortnite. And he's literally playing a video game and making $5 million or something ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Way too much money because you're playing video games.
Yeah.
But
Now, that being said, tech companies make a crap ton of money. So hopefully that's, the whole idea of I want everyone to make as much money as possible while adding the best value possible to the customer. If tech companies are making billions and billions, then that money should be going to the YouTube creators, the content creators.
Yeah. Well, I was just in Utah and we were looking at houses. Dude, every house in Utah is $1 million house now.
Dude, you better not move to Utah.
Dude, that is the last place I'm moving. I lived there for 1 month. Oh, I couldn't stand it. It was awful. And it's only probably gotten worse.
Yeah.
But no, you see all these people making all this crazy money and you're like, where is it going? And apparently it's people in Utah. Because
Utah is one of the hubs for innovative businesses.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting. And it's not even that innovative. It's like a new protein bar company.
Yeah.
Yet they just do something just perfect.
Yeah.
That it gets into all the stores and it's a multi-million-dollar company that gets sold off.
Yep. Yeah, I was blown away by how many people are now living in $1 million houses. There was one spot we were looking out. We were on the like balcony of this little Airbnb we rented, and you can't even see anything but rooftops. It's just rooftops as far as you can see, and all those houses are $1 million houses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just crazy to see. I guess I don't know. A lot of people are doing well.
I wonder what the Salt Lake Temple total cost to build.
Dude, someone made out like a bandit. Whoever got the sales commission off of their earthquake-proof stuff is probably never. Their grandkids probably aren't ever going to have to work a day in their lives.
True. Okay, it's pretty nuts when they started. This is totally going off the topic of business, but when they started excavating, they started finding windows and doors they didn't even know existed. Which kind of happened in Mexico City, the La Catedral, like the cathedral in the center of Mexico City. They go to do the earthquake-proof stuff on that, and they found a pyramid.
What?
They're like, we didn't know this pyramid was there. So the Spaniards enslaved so many people that they literally buried the city.
Yeah.
They buried a pyramid and plopped a church right on top of it.
Oh, I think I have seen that. Was that the one that it almost just looks like a mountain, and there's a cathedral on top?
No. So in Mexico City, a lot of that used to be a lake. I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember what the lake was called. But then when they enslaved people, they just had them bring enough dirt in to cover their city, and then they built the Spanish type city
crazy.
right over top of everything.
Huh.
So it was sinking, and part of the church is sunk a little bit more than another part. But when they were digging, they found a pyramid.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which I guess, after they put that in, it's going to be earthquake-proof and sink-proof and everything else proof.
Yeah, it's interesting. But business, they have a niche, they have a market, they found a buyer, all their people made money. Like, business is awesome.
Yeah.
And then also, even just spending money. You'll hear people and they're like, oh, they spent $500 million on a yacht. That's great. I'm probably jacking the price up, but I'm like, well, is that messed up? Because that yacht company hires hundreds and hundreds of people that are probably making really good money within their market. Mm-hmm. The leather is sourced from India, and now the leather makers in India or leather stitchers, because they don't make the leather, but everybody makes money off of money.
Yeah.
It's really cool, but I think we need to approach it that way. Mm-hmm. When we built the Silcoat trailer, well, there's a company in Utah that made money. I had to buy a tank, so found a person also in Utah that was selling their tank. I had to buy a pump. I had to buy an air compressor. I had to buy hose. I had to buy, like, that's really cool. That's the free market system. Mm-hmm. And that system, when done correctly without corruption, makes everybody a living.
Or even with a lot of corruption. Like, we're still making good money even with that, which will be interesting to see what happens if Trump survives still.
I know.
President.
Yeah. It's scary.
Yeah.
I hope so. And I just hope some of the promises are actually going to stick.
Yeah.
This whole DOGE idea, the Department of Governmental Efficiency, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
If it can be pulled off.
Well, I mean, if one person can do it, it's probably Musk. Like,
I agree.
He's not, I don't think he's he's not human. Like, he has to be something else.
He may
just
actually be an alien.
I was like, he was talking about, he's like, oh yeah, Tesla. Oh yeah. And X and the Boring Company. I was like, the Boring Company?
Yeah,
I forgot that he built a drilling company. I'm
Yep.
like, how can you be in charge of so many things and that are so impactful to everyone? It blows me
Yeah.
away. And now he's a government official, so
Yeah. I watched this thing that said that the Boring Company might actually become the first $1 trillion company.
really.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get that bid for New York to London.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Oh.
They're going to drill under the ocean?
Apparently that's what they said. They were going to hypothetically do a tunnel. It said it would take like only a few hours to get from New York to London instead of whatever it takes in a plane. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Because it's like a vacuum.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you
And
could
then
go
the
like
cars.
400 miles an hour on those
So cool.
vacuum sealed chambers or whatever.
That's awesome.
But,
I love that kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, he's unreal. He's also some video game. He's number one in the world.
Yeah.
In this video game.
No, I just saw it. I pulled it up on X. He plays Diablo 4, and he was like the number one player on something. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
You have everything else going on, and then you're like, I'm also going to be the best at this. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
No, it doesn't. But us normal people, we can still do well. We can do well for ourselves.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah. Well, thanks for chatting today.
Yeah.
We'll have
Thanks
to
for
get
having
with Matt this week and talk some conspiracies.
Yeah.
Like this CEO that was shot.
me. Yeah. I haven't heard anything about it, but all I've heard from online is that people are, I mean, it sounds morbid, but they're kind of happy that
Dude, so crazy.
potentially a horrible
People-
person died.
People on CNN are like, I'm glad it happened.
Really?
Like, wait, you're glad that somebody was murdered? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
He's just
crazy.
super corrupt and crazy or something like that.
There may have been that, which I don't know. I just get more into the weeds of the the conspiracy of we had his face for like 5 days, knowing exactly what this guy looks like, and they couldn't find him. But then when they did find him, he was very close to the site. He still had the gun on him. He had this manifesto of why he did it, and he was in the same clothes that he was in when he killed the guy. You're like, that sounds a little fishy to me. We know more about this guy in 5 days than we know about the Trump assassination attempt guy.
Uh-huh.
Well, we're starting to learn. He had 18 cell phones. They're tracking data off of 18 cell phones that this guy had. The lone gunman that has 18 cell phones.
And he's what, 17? He's
Yeah,
like
he's
a
very
high
young.
school kid.
And his house was scrubbed before the FBI got there. And he had FBI and CIA contacts. Very interesting.
I mean, it's just weird. I don't know if they're just getting sloppy or they just don't care anymore. They're like, yeah, we are the CIA. We are trying to kill Trump, but it didn't work. And just everyone knows that. It's such a weird.
Yeah. We just need to remember, they wanted us to see Trump shot on national television.
Yeah.
They wanted us to see his head get blown off
Uh-huh.
on national television. But it's like no one even talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
That should be talked about. That should be number one news still to this day.
Yeah.
Until we figure out everything and how that happened and how
And
we
why
let
he
this
has
slip
18
through.
cell phones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think MK Ultra has a little bit to do with it. We'll have to get that on another episode.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's do a conspiracy one. There's a lot of good ones. We got to.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. Sweet. Thanks, Matt. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
See ya.
John, I appreciate it.